Yo, what up? Welcome to another episode of Owning the Huddle podcast. The guys will be on at around 8. I wanted to jump on a little early so we can kind of talk about Dan Quinn and the presser from today. We're going to do that first, and then the boys going to be on around 8, and then we're going to chop it up about the game. All right? So let's get to the press conference. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, retweet wherever you are. Chop it up with me in the comments, man. Let's get to it.
I didn't make it true, playing by the rules. I come apart, but never cool. I didn't make it true, playing by the rules. I come apart, but never cool.
Man, we've been waiting a long time for this, baby. Red Zone in the Lab. Commanders. It's time. Let's get it, homie.
Yo, what up? We're going to get right to it. Right off the top. Let's see what we got. Yeah, man. What's up, Carlito? How you feeling, man? Hey, Carl, let me know. Make sure you can hear Dan Quinn.
Hey, Coach.
All right, Charlie.
Ready when you are.
All right. I'll get started with everybody, and I kind of fill you in a little bit about what I also spoke with the team. But right now, where I feel the only thing consistent right now has been our inconsistency. Told the team a message about some of our Navy SEAL friends and diving or sailing with no GPS and no landmarks. The three things you need to know are where are you, where are you going, and what bearings you're needed. And just 3 degrees, 2 or 3 degrees off, and you're off course. And I said, that's where we are today. We're off course. Doing hard shit with good people isn't a slogan, but like absolutely like how we live. And so told them we're in hard shit right now. And we'll find out a lot about our team in these weeks ahead. So we need everyone to step up, coaches and players. That's our jobs. When I see turnovers or penalties or drops or missed tackles, when you hit a rash of injuries, those are the things that we should and must be able to count on, and hit that with the staff today, and that's disappointing to us. So our focus needs to be sharper. That's the bare minimum, and we're going to dig in to find out how we improve upon that. So that is our focus, the focus itself, to make sure like eliminate things if we need to be sharper and cleaner of how we play.
What's up, Cuddy? How you feeling, buddy?
One thing I do know, we'll also make the choice to absolutely go for it.
Oh,
Not going to be easy,
gosh.
but we're not staying in this space either, you guys.
This is
So
nasty.
our identities not come together, and these next 4 games until our bye, we got a lot of work to do to help create that. But the inconsistency is the thing that, man, we're gonna hammer this out, and we're gonna get there. But it's frustrating, and that's where we're at.
So like he absolutely looks frustrated. He absolutely looks frustrated. He looked frustrated yesterday. He looked absolutely frustrated yesterday. He sounds frustrated. I think we have not seen him at this point yet as a commander. I even saw where someone said that you haven't seen that defeated Dan Quinn since the Super Bowl loss, which I thought was a little far fetched, right? I think a lot of what we're hearing the last 24 hours is a little far fetched, right? But I will say, even during the losing streak last year, we still had like it didn't seem like the season was going to fall apart, right? I mean, not to me. It seems like more fans is where like the season is going to fall apart, and it's because of numerous things, right? Numerous things that's going on right now. But I think the biggest thing is the injuries, one, and the inconsistency from the defense. Because the defense is not just about one player, right? It's not just about Marshawn. It's not just about Quan. Yes, like you can point out plays that they didn't make, not so much that they made, and they are very big, very pivotal, right? Them running into each other was a bad look. It doesn't matter who fault it was. It's a real bad look, and it's a really bad stench when you continue to see that over and over. I can imagine how the the players feel, right? So like it's so much to go into it. But like he made a thing about high stuff with good people, right? The thing like the brotherhood and anybody, anywhere, anytime, like all of those things are fine and dandy, right? But it's easier to say those things when you got the fan base behind you, right? And everything is clicking, you're winning, you're doing things no one I like it's easy to do that. Now it's like, where are we? Right now, how are you going to take all of those things, all these different sayings and this culture and all that? How are you going to get better? Right? Because it's more it's more than just scheme, execution. It's basic things like effort. Like effort. Not being locked in. It's all different types of things. Like he ain't had that same fire from last. I don't know, right? Like I don't know if that's true. It's like, how do you correlate it? Because even you mentioned like the dude bleeding from the nose or from the forehead and all that a couple games ago. I've seen fire from him from the sidelines, but a lot of times we tend to forget how winning bleeds certain reactions and losing bleeds certain reactions, right? When you're winning, you see things in a more positive light and you don't see anything negative in a sense, or you just gloss over, right? This is why I always say winning covers and losing uncovers, right? That like there's no issue with how he acting on the sidelines when you're winning. But when you're losing, everything gets magnified. I've seen Dan Quinn get hype. I've seen him run up and down the sidelines. I've seen him jump up and down. I've seen all that this year. The same as what we saw last year. So like I've seen that, right? Let's see.
With the bad news. So DA, he's got a significant injury. It's going to knock him out, and so that's hard. You know, when he's really coming on like he has. So I had a chance to visit with him today, and yeah, that's a hard one for us. And yeah, I'm just bummed for him because I thought he was really starting to make his mark, John, in that way. Jaden had an MRI on his hamstring today. Good news, not significant or long term, but I don't know the status for Monday night just yet. I'll have a better sense as I get closer to it with the extra day and what that looks like. But the good news came back that not a long-term thing, but I just can't answer tonight where I'm at.
Man, like the injuries is insane, bro. the injuries are insane. And when you look back to last year, like we didn't have a lot of significant injuries as what we're having this year, right? Um, Dietrich Wise, uh, Will Harris, um, Dorrance Armstrong. All of these guys are starters. Like these guys, you were expecting to contribute a lot, and they were contributing a lot, right? But then you have Baptiste who comes in, who you're going to expect for him to contribute a lot as a depth piece. He goes down. So now where you are is you have Von Miller, someone that you did not want to contribute a lot, right? You wanted him in on different cheetah lineups, right? You wanted them to come in on passing situations, right? Like this is what you wanted from him. You didn't want him out there 40 snaps a game. You want to get him 15 to 20 snaps a game, right? You bring in, you sign Preston Smith off the streets, who wasn't signed with a team all summer, and you bring him in to hopefully kind of fill in some of those snaps that Baptiste was getting when Wise was in there and Martin. But then Baptiste goes down, so Preston has to play a little more. And now Dorrance Armstrong goes down, so now you got to play Von Miller more, and you got to play Baptiste more. Preston Smith more. And that's just what, like, you got Jacob Martin, Von Miller, and Preston Smith. Those are your three defensive ends. Those are your three edge rushers. At this point in these guys' career, they are not starting on no teams. As a matter of fact, Preston Smith wasn't even signed to a team. I'm sure Von Miller probably could have signed with the team, but they was only signing him to play like 15, 20 snaps a game. So this is what you have now as far as the edge rushers, right? Like Cuddy said, yeah, we've been up and down, but the team isn't playing with that same fire and passion as he had in them last season. I mean, why though? Why? And this is what everyone has been talking about, vibes, right? Which I think is ridiculous. Like, how do you expect like teams to play with fire and urgency and all that when they're just not winning? This is what happens when you don't win. And when your players are injured, when your star quarterback is injured a couple games, your star wide receiver is injured. I don't know. We got to see this whole Jaden injury thing is definitely something we're going to be paying attention to. But I don't really want to talk too much about it right now. I want to see how the week goes to see how they approach it, because even last night we got a lot of good reports about it. But we just gotta wait and see. Jaden in Spain, he gonna be out that long? Look at Chop. Chop say the rosters, but I mean, think about it, Chop. Like, how do you get here? Right? Like, at some point, you like, okay. How do you feel about the roster when it's complete? Right? Like, no injuries. How do you feel about the roster with no injuries? Quarterbacks, wide receivers, O-line, D-line, secondary. How do you feel it? Because at some point, the more injuries you take, right, the more you're getting to a roster that you did not expect to have. You did not expect to have Chris Moore and Luke McCaffrey as your starting wide receivers. You did not expect to have Jacob Martin and Preston Smith as your starting edge rushers. Like, these are the things you did not expect to have. So when you're thinking about the roster and how it's shaping out, you got to kind of give grace because the injuries are real. It's not like it's the first guy and all of a sudden your roster is trash, but it's 2-3 guys down the line. We're down to the fourth wide. Luke and Lane, whatever, those are fourth wide receivers. So we got wide receivers 4, 5, and 6 as 1, 2, and 3. And you got wide receivers 7, 8, 9, that's 4, 5, and 6. Even on the edge. You got edge rushers that Von Miller was like the fourth edge rusher. He was probably only be a specialist, right? Jacob Martin too. He was third. So you got him, you got a specialist, and a dude that wasn't even on the team up until 3 weeks ago. So when you talk about the roster not being good, there are levels to it. Now, if you tell me that the roster wasn't good from the jump, all right, like I'm not gonna argue and debate with you about that right now. I'm not, because I would disagree, right? But yeah, if you talk about the roster now and how it stands with injuries, yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, what you expect with injuries, right? Do any of these injuries have to do with the extra prep plan the team implemented back? Like, I don't think so, right? Like, I don't think so. And either prep plan, I think you're talking about like the health plan and the off season that they talked about everyone did. I think that's a good conversation to have, right? I wonder what it was, what did it include. But whatever the reasons why, it could just be football. What's up, Steve? Our expectations are just too high after last season. It will really be how they respond to adversity that shows what type of team this is. Yeah, and that culture, right? Like, let's see how strong that culture is. Let's see how bought in that these guys are. Because, like, when people they tell me on the timeline the vibes because of one player. If one player is the reason why the team is not strong as a unit, it was never strong in the first place. It was never strong in the first place. What's up, Clint? Yeah, I think it's above average. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's cool to look at the roster to see where it is as far as position by position, but you would think it's kind of strong, right? Like, I think some places, I mean, I think it's like a roster, like a regular NFL, right? Like, everybody doesn't have strong pieces with that depth in every position, right? Coming in, we thought the cornerbacks was our strongest unit, remember? With the depth that we had. 2 of those guys went down. Harris and Jonathan Jones went down. And then look, there you have it. Right? So I don't know. I think sometimes we expect things from our team and our roster that's just not, it's just not something as common as people think with the rest of the league. Oh my gosh, Hartman activated. Yeah, man, we might get there. I mean, we actually were there, right? He was the third quarterback for 2 games, the emergency quarterback for 2 games.
Looking at that, how do you parcel out like coaching issues, coaching mistakes?
From a philosophy standpoint, if there's a certain issue that can keep coming up, it's time for that, call to change all the way, John. So more often than not, it gets simpler as you go to make sure you can nail the things that you need to nail. So that's generally been the best course of action to tighten some things up to make sure it doesn't come up and hit you again. But yeah, it's ongoing as we're starting that process, and we'll dig into that hard tonight before we begin our preparation into Kansas City. Tonight and morning is really spent on us.
Nikki?
Yeah, do you
So like, I don't know, I don't know, and he talked about it more later in the presser about, because even yesterday he mentioned how he's going to be looking at the roster, and it's fair to say that changes should be made with the coaches, with players, scheme, et cetera, et cetera. But what are you going to do? Right? Like, are you going to make those changes? What are you going to do? Right? He even mentioned that he hears every play call that goes in. I mean, he's the head coach. I don't think that's anything that should be surprising. I think it's offense and defense. Right? He's the head coach, so of course he's going to hear everything going in. And I'm sure he's in on the meetings. But at what point do you make a change? Right. We saw in the fourth quarter, the game was already out. You took out Bobby Wagner. You took out Marshawn. Right. Are those moves that you kind of wanted to see their reactions to being pulled, or is that something that you're going to continue going forward? Because at this point and where we are, someone like Bobby Wagner would be very beneficial if the run is a Super Bowl, right? Ertz, right? Like, because these are guys that's on their last leg, right? Like, we got a lot out of them last year. But what do you do now? Yeah, it's sad, Clint. He is. Oh, it's so sad. Right? Like, so what do you do about that now? Right? Because at some point, you have to look to the future. Like, you have to start, these contracts cannot continue to be 1-year deals with players that you are looking to have a significant impact over time. Like, you do make 1-year deals with players that's going to make contributing impacts over a year, right? But that's kind of in certain situations, like what the Rams did, right? But now, like, as a middle linebacker, a tight end one, these are positions that at some point you have to start looking towards the future. Like, yes, like Ertz can still contribute, but I think he's better contributing as a situational in the red zone, for instance, third downs, for instance, right? Sprinkle him in every now and again. Because one thing he can't do is block, just like on a 2-point conversion. That was a poor effort for him. It's some tape out there that's showing that he just does not want to block this year. So you have to see that. And you have to see what these young guys have. Like Senate. You have to see what he has. And I know, like, he can't be getting those reps in practice because they probably all going to Ertz. Ertz don't practice on Wednesdays, and they just do walkthrough stuff. So I don't even know. It's probably Bates. But as of right now, like, look, bro, as of right now, let's see, looked at the numbers for Ertz. I mean, for the tight end group, right? Check this out. 2024, right? Ertz had 536 routes ran. for the regular season. Bates had 144 routes ran. That's a crazy difference between them two. Crazy difference. And Senate had 114. There is no way that you can see what you have from him with that little routes. Right? 2025, so far, Ertz has 189 routes ran. This is the issue right here. Bates has 30 routes ran. Senate has 26. Bates missed 2.5 games, and he still has more routes ran than Senate. I need to see more speed. I hate to say Madrano Okeo should be given a fair shot. Can't Madrano play Buffalo nickel? He's a tweener. Can't Ja'Cory Brooks contribute somehow? Yeah, I mean, it's time to see it. It's definitely time to see it. What hurts me is gambling these picks for an injured Lattimore, but it could have been the other way around. Listen, like, the Lattimore thing is a loss. It's a loss. We sent out 2, we got 1 back. Like, it is what it is. Like, he took a shot, right, and it didn't pan out. It didn't work for the long haul. But the good thing about it, he's not strapped to him, right? He doesn't owe him anything, no guarantee money, nothing like that, so he can move on, right? So that says what that is. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna flip. We're gonna get to OTH. Got DT in the building, so we're gonna start and we're gonna flip the show over to Owning the Huddle. So right after this. I know it looks like Ceelo is at a hotel, but he disappeared. I don't know exactly where he is. But Breeze, what's good, man?
What's good?
Oh, there you go.
Good. Is he back? No, he's still
He
frozen.
trying to slide around the camera. Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. Brother Deuce is here. He's here to defend his O-line. I'm getting sick and tired of you dudes and this fan base talking about my O-line. We gonna handle this today. Yo, what? Oh, shucks. My bad, hit the wrong one. Yo, what up? Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. We are in the building. We got DT. We got Breeze. Breeze got a new mic. Check Breeze out.
Nah, man, this ain't new, man. This ain't new, man.
Got all them buttons. Oh man, what's good, y'all, man? DT, man, what's good, man?
I got a lot to say tonight. I have a lot to say. But
What's up, Breeze? How you feeling, Breeze?
It's a good thing that we didn't go live last night because the channel might have got shut down. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, man. But
yeah, shout out.
I've had my time, you know.
Shout out to wifey, man. Like we was kind of offline last week and towards this weekend. Just got back today. 10 years, man. 10 years, man. So shout out to wifey for hanging around your boy for 10 years.
Congrats.
You know what I'm saying? So 2035, we'll probably, or 2036, we'll probably be saying 10 years for somebody else. But DT, what you got in your mind, man?
I have a lot. I have a tremendous amount of thoughts. Been trolled all day. As soon as I get in the building, clock in. Security guard says, hold your head up, man. Everybody get beat like that sometimes.
Hold your head up. It's crazy.
Nasty, right? So it's gonna be an eventful night. Just know that.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Ronnie, what's good, Ronnie? You might need to bring Brother Deuce back for these vibes. This vibes is killing me, bro.
Oh Lord, and
Thanks, TT.
jump.
Thanks, T. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Thank you. Nah, Kate. Nah, bro. Like, man, I've been on this timeline, man, this last few days, man, like sneaking away, getting on this timeline with these vibes and all that stuff. It was not meant that way. Kay, man. Apologize, bro. It ain't mean it that way, man. It's just the stuff that you hear sometimes from fans. You be like, man, are you serious? So yeah. Let's get to it, man. Breeze, initial thoughts, man.
Initial thoughts. I wanted to break a lot of stuff and say a whole bunch of curse words. But thankfully my children were around at the time, so had to set an example of what not to be or what to be, however you want to look at it. It was frustrating. And y'all know I'm usually like the calmer, more level-headed one out the group, and I was in crash out mode yesterday, like full crash out mode. Nothing went as it should have. Yeah, it was bad.
What's your initials, DT?
I mean, good God Almighty. If this is what we really are at this point, I mean, I don't even stress about defense no more. I know there are some anomalies where teams figure things out, they make things simpler in the defense constructs, they start to get things together and they fix it during the season. But so far, to the first 7 weeks of this season, this defense is what it is. But anytime we're out here and my franchise quarterback, and there are going to be some circumstances, stuff happens. Mm-hmm. My franchise quarterback out here throwing to Chris Moore like he's Mount Austin, Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, can't run the ball. Nobody's getting separation, which also leads to him not taking what's defense given. I'm just really appalled right now.
Appalled.
For the record, I'm getting this out the way now. Does Jaden have a sophomore slump? No. I don't believe he has a sophomore slump. What I believe he is having is the full team regression of having a tougher schedule. Injuries are not on our side like it was last year, specifically on offense. Wide receivers are in and out of the lineup. This team is going through it right now. And I don't want to hear nothing about vibes. I want to hear one thing about the vibes are off.
Jesus.
Vibes don't miss tackles in open field. Vibes don't drop the ball constantly when you're one of the most sneaky, underrated tight ends in NFL history.
What? Get him.
What are we doing, dog? Like, hey, dog. When we were in the season, for some of y'all, we did have our ceilings. We had our down points, and we also had the realistic. And right now, from my standpoint, it's kind of looking realistic. This team still have a lot of things they're trying to fix. And Jaden can't fix every single thing. Jaden's human too. But because he was performing at such a high level last year that was literally up there with the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, the Joe Burrows, when he doesn't have those top tier games like we saw last year, we're all going to clown the brother. Now I have a problem with y'all. Because are y'all serious right now? It's one thing to point out if like he's not playing, he's playing all right. Accuracy may be a little bit off from last year. But to say he's trash, to say he's costing us games, when we sit in here, he had 191 total yards, and he literally, and literally, when I watched this game on Sunday, you know what the score was at halftime? It was 27-15. Brothers, when was the last time we seen 27-15 at halftime? When was the last time we seen 27-15? The NFC Championship, right?
Get into it. You bringing the energy. I'm ready.
The NFC Championship. When Jaden Daniels drives his team, scores a touchdown, you get a sack on 2nd and 17, and he throws a 40-yard dime, and nobody is covering over the top with Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, come on, dog. What are we doing? I ain't the smartest dude in the world.
Jameer Gibbs just took that junk 75.
I at least know to have somebody cover over top and just keep everything in front of you like we always do. We can't win.
Jameer Gibbs just took that junk 75, bro.
Must be nice.
Look at Jones and the Jones. People can't wait to get us, bro. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. No, it's not a slump by any means. Like it's not, bro. Like it was like howdy your cow, my cow, your cow. Pay the third little Benjamin going off. So like Breeze, you're up, Breeze. We'll come back to the comments.
I'm up. How do I follow what DT just said, bro? Where do I begin? Because nothing he said was wrong, was incorrect, by the way. But I mean, bro, we playing with a JV team. As far as the receivers go, see, this is the problem, right? We did what we did last year with what we all know was not a very good roster. We all know and understand that, right? And we made it to the NFC Championship game, and we all know what happened once we got there, right? We had a window, if you will, right? And they doubled down on a very top-heavy and aged veteran roster, thinking that the injury bug would not hit again. Because we didn't have, correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't have one major injury at all last season. Of course, we had a couple bumps and bruises and nicks here and there, but we didn't have one major injury last season, right or wrong.
I mean, they Cosby had his in the playoffs.
I mean, that was the last game they played, though. That was against Detroit. Well, before the last game. Outside of that, there was no like major injury, and they doubled down on that not happening again. And it's the complete opposite. Like, this team was not built to have to play the second and third stringers, and we're down like fourth stringers and practice squad players at this point. I mean, Jaden, like, I understand that he's probably not comfortable with the knee brace and all of that, whatever. The timing in and of itself is clearly off. I mean, he's throwing to people he's never thrown the football to. How many passes you think Jaden threw to Robbie Chosen during the week? He's been here, 7 days, 8 days? He was the best receiver on the field Sunday.
Fun fact.
Go ahead.
He's had 25 catches the last 3 days. He's had 3 catches the last 3 years. He's had 3 catches the last 2 years. He had 4 catches yesterday.
He was the best receiver on the field Sunday. Jalen Lane, I have such high hopes for Jalen Lane, and I know what he can do on special teams. And we've discussed Jalen Lane and what we think he has the potential to be. Jalen, bro, you real close to like being on that side of the fence with these drops, bro. I mean, I'm trying my best to respect the platform, but Jalen, simply put, catch the football, bro. Luke McCaffrey he had what, 2 targets, no catches, which by the way, Luke, I don't know what you thought you was doing trying to jump over 3 people yesterday. We'll talk about that later on. But dog, Zach Ertz dropping wide open out routes. There's nothing passing wise under him. I know Sennett has limited opportunities. John Bates is not that. Like, dog, I don't know what more you want from 5. He's doing the best he can do with as close as the best he can do with very limited options. Dallas had the worst run defense in football yesterday. Oh, going into yesterday, our starting running back had 35 yards against them. Like it was embarrassing. And mind you, we all knew that would happen. I saw so many people say, stop talking about what Dallas's defense has been, because we know on Sunday that's not what it's finna be. Yep. We all know this. We know how we've seen this movie time and time and time again. And that's just on offense. We ain't even talk about defense yet. DT, I know you said you're not worried about defense. I am terrified every time they step on the field. We're to the point now of playing 5th string defensive linemen. Von Miller came here to play 25% of the snaps and chase a ring. He got to start now.
Sounds like last
none
year.
None of the linebackers look like they looked last season. And I know Bobby is 47 years old. I don't know who took Frankie Louvu's talent from last season. I do understand that what Frankie Louvu looks like this season is more of what he's been his career, and last year was very likely an outlier. I get that. Just let me have it. The defensive line, Deron Payne is the only person who ain't been hurt this season, and he probably really jacked up behind closed doors. And the secondary, I don't have no words. No words for the secondary. I have words for the secondary, but if I do say them, Deuce going to end the stream. So I'm going to just hold on to him for now. But it's I don't know what's going on with the operation. And we're going to get into it. I see the comments and all that. We're going to get into it. But Los, I get we're going to get into it, but bro, it's all bad.
So
it's all bad, bro. It's all bad.
And
right
Kinlaw too, right? Like Kinlaw been hooping.
I'm sorry. Javon Kinlaw has been he been getting his man.
But then you have, oh my gosh, but then you have
Jim.
Then you have you have Sheldon Day.
I forgot he was even on the roster to the activated.
Like Sheldon Day being activated from the practice squad, getting more snaps than your 2nd round pick a year ago. Something is not adding up. Yeah. And DT,
what happened to Johnny Newton?
I mean, that's why who I say getting more snaps than who?
No. That's who you said.
Yeah, Johnny Newton. Yeah. Like I don't know, right? Like he shows up sometimes and sometimes he don't. Right, like I don't know. I don't know what's going on, bro. Like, and I know, I mean, even Goldman was back, right? So you would think Sheldon Day would just be there just as an insurance, but no, like he's getting more snaps than your 2nd round pick from a year ago. Like that's not development at all. We got dudes off the streets getting them on burn. That's absolutely an issue, bro. Like Uncle Bobby, it's time to renew your thing. Poster child animal keeps getting left on an island. Oh man, could be the packaging.
We gonna get into that Lattimore conversation later on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The staff seems to like experience. I mean, it's not it's not seem at all, right? Like I mean, y'all heard the clip I played with Joe Witt from one of his pressers a few weeks ago. Experience for sure, the vets for sure, but bro, they just not cutting it. I mean, I think well, Mikey, um so like I think when it comes to draft picks, right? And I know hindsight and revisionist history because they not playing well this year, but I do think they're good players. I think they're going to be good players. I just think just something just needs to happen. Somebody mentioned early in the chat that it's like look at your youth, like play them, see what happens, right? These guys show some flashes. I mean, Revo is my guy, but he showed you some flashes in the preseason, and you've given him a chance. Like, give some of these other cats a chance. I know Owens came in, he didn't look too good the first few games. He looked kind of lost. But it's time, like you talked a whole lot about looking at the defense, making change, doing let's see. Let's see if you do. Right? Let's see if you do. I just don't you can't develop players on the bench. You can't develop players in practice. Right? Like you can't. You have to start getting them live reps. Even if it's 5, 10. Like get them the live reps. You go to McGee, and I know you had him in specifically for 12 and 13 personnel, but then the next game he gets one snap. Right? And the team did go 12, 13 personnel at least 15 times. But get him some reps. Sit Louisville a couple times. If you have to, whatever you have to do, or bring all three of them, have them pass rush, whatever you have to do, you have to get these kids reps. Because listen, like at some point you got to start building. You have to start seeing what you have for the future, and you can't wait. Right? Bobby is not your future. Ertz is not your future. Right? Those guys are not your future. So these guys that you have drafted, you have brought them in, you got to see who they are. And that's one thing we're not seeing on what, like when we talk about San Francisco and what they did, like a latter part of those drafts, a lot of the guys that they hit on, they played them.
Yeah.
And you're not playing them. And I think that's the disconnect with DQ and AP, which we'll probably talk more about that whole thing like later in the season and the off season. But like I think it was Ben. I think Benjamin mentioned something earlier about. Let me get through these slot cornerback. Edge running the hardest for sure. And this is a question, Los. It's an absolute question.
So dudes, real quick. Just so I'm clear, this is not like the season is over, punt on the season, play the young dude. This is we are, correct me if I'm wrong. This is we are a game below 500. We still have plenty of games to play. We have to strike while the iron's hot. Like we can't afford to let it start rolling downhill.
You guys is crazy. Yeah, no, it's not like, and this is the thing. Like somebody in here said Jaden sell at the deadline or whatever. No, that's not where we are. That's not who Dan is. And hopefully that's really not who some of you fans are, because that'd be very disappointing to me if a lot of you really truly just want to punt on the season after 7 games, right? Like we've seen teams have these type of starts and make runs, right? We just can't see it how they're going to do it right now. But right, all we're doing is giving like what you need to start. Like you have to do something, because if somebody like it's not just the scheme. Right? Like if you want to make it about the scheme and the packages and personnel, make the change and you start calling plays. Right? And then you see what it is from there. And if it's still an issue, then you got to start getting some of these young players in there. You got to put more speed on the field. Like you can make these adjustments during the year, but do you trust your coaching and your positional coaches enough to make these changes? That's the question. Like, if you're going to sit Bobby, who's going to be the green dot? It can't be McGee. It definitely ain't going to be Louvu. It can't be Quan. right?
Dark
Savage
Savior.
just got there. You can't give it to a cornerback, right? So it's going to have to be McGee. But these are the types of things that I'm sure that they're thinking of, right? That some fans don't think of. But like, I don't know. But what I do know is what we've been saying all off season and into this year. Bobby cannot cover. He cannot cover. He cannot sit in the zone. He's not even getting good depth. He's going 1 yard. Like that's not how you see. Tampa 2 is out of the question. Stop saying Tampa 2. It's not going to work. It's not going to work with Bobby on the field. It's not. It's going to start looking like London Fletcher in the last couple years. And we know how that looked.
We run a 4-2-5 with two linebackers that can only go forward. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Like,
oh my gosh.
am I wrong? Am I wrong?
What's up,
Am I wrong? We don't like. We already know who and what Bobby is at this stage of his career. Bobby Wagner is a Hall of Fame football player. We all know. We all understand that. We all also have eyes. The three of us speaking have good football eyes, great football eyes. We know who and what Bobby Wagner is, and what Bobby Wagner is not at this stage of his career is a coverage linebacker.
Yeah,
he never really was, but at this point, he's definitely not. So I mean, like, what are we talking about? And let me say this as it pertains to the youth movement that Deuce was speaking on. I'll elaborate later on in the show because we'll get to it. But I know that in the secondary, the operation worked specifically when it was being done one way last year in the secondary. And we'll elaborate on that. But there were two players playing where they are not playing right now when the operation was working last season. And they are not being used in that manner right now. I'll get there later on. But you got to do something, bro. Like, the way it's being run right now is not working. We can, at the very least, we can say that it's not working with the current players being played where they are and how they're being played.
And you can't hide it this year. You can't hide it because the offense is not able to cover it up. Yeah. So now you're getting even more push to do something, right? It's okay last year to kind of go along with it because your offense was putting up points and you were winning games. So it wasn't but right now your offense cannot do it. Right? Your offense cannot do it. And we could talk about reasons why. But the thing about the snaps with the rookies, like we intend to forget the reason why so many played like we have so many rookie snaps, because remember, yes, we had Jaden, we had Mikey, we had Senate and Luke. Senate and Luke played a lot of snaps last year, right? Like they played a lot, right? So like, I mean, and Coleman did too. So yeah, I mean, we are playing them, right? That's not the issue in a sense, but it's the positions and how we're playing them where the issue is. Ceelo, what's good, man? Everybody got their initial rant out. You're up.
Yeah, I heard y'all. So, I mean, I won't try to repeat what everybody already said. It's just, I think the injury bug is kind of getting to a point where it's a little bit ridiculous. I know everyone wants to jump on different parts of the team, but I think the depth of this team is really being tested. We were already questionable at the starting 22. Now we're being tested at the next 22. And very critical roles, by the way. You know, we were already thin on defense and defensive end. We all know our needs last April. Defensive end. We needed some cornerback help, right, on defense, things like that. And all these in safety, all these guys are now injured, unfortunately, and they are significant injuries too. So I don't know if we can overcome that. We can definitely talk about, you know, Coach Witt and things of that nature. But I just don't see how this team's rebounds without some significant help on the roster, or a significant adjustment in the scheme. And I'm not sure if that's Witt's style. I don't know if Witt is the type of coordinator that can go out and start to change things up like you see some other, veteran coordinators do. I don't know if that's his kind of approach. He's a very much a man guy, and he wants to win with his front 4, 5, 6, whatever. He wants to bring some pressure, and that's it, and create turnovers. And I'm not sure if we got that, in the arsenal right now. So anyway, initial reaction, the 44 points hurts. That just hurts. That just hurts in so many levels. I know one of those was a pick six. So whatever that means, 30 was a 30, 37 point, whatever it is. But yeah, man, that's my initial reaction.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm just gonna get through some of these comments. What's up, Steve? Yeah, I mean McGee can be the green dot, but you putting a lot on the player that's only had he has less than 30 snaps, right? Just playing football. He has less than 50 snaps the last couple years. So that's a lot to put on him. You see him sweat his heat last CMC half loop. It already looks like London with Bobby Cuddy. They happy he leading the NFL in tackles. I don't know if you make that move to bench Bobby. I don't know if you make a move to get him off the field and passing situations. But that him right there could be a big cog in the machine. That's the reason why it's not moving. And because really the middle linebacker has to be able to move in any defense that you run. Cover 2, camper 2, quarters, man to man. He has to be able to move laterally. Right? Even in zone, you have to move. Right? You have a whole 5 to 7 circumference of area that you have to cover. Right? You have to be able to move when you get crosses in zone. And he can't do it. Losing Wise, Wise was playing pretty good. We got to get younger and quicker on defense. Also need $1 billion, but I don't know how to solve either problem right now. We about to look like crap.
That's the time of the
throwbacks.
night.
And I'm right there with you, Cody. Go ahead, Breeze. What you was about to say?
Nah, just as it pertains to Witt changing the scheme, I don't see that happening. I would love for it to happen, just for the sake of it makes sense. I don't know what else you may change the scheme to, or how you may tweak it, how you may call it, how you may game plan it, whatever. I just know that the way you've been doing it ain't working right now. They ran the defense for half the season last year, talking about they couldn't run the defense the way they wanted to run the defense because they didn't have the players to fit the scheme. And then they apparently went out and got the players to fit the scheme. I know 17 defensive linemen got hurt. I understand that. But they get the players that they said they wanted to run the scheme they wanted to run, and it looks worse. They could not, when they traded for Marshawn Lattimore last year, on tape, on camera, so they could not wait to get him on the field because now they could finally run the defense they wanted to run. And he has been the biggest liability in coverage all season. I know Mikey's had his struggles, but in my opinion, they're targeting Marshawn Lattimore. They aren't targeting the rookie Trey Amos. They aren't targeting Mike Samuel. Depending on who he's covering. In general, they are targeting Marshawn Lattimore, who is supposed to be by far the best player in the secondary. And he has not been anywhere close to that. I understand. Excuse me. Let me say this, right? Cornerbacks to the naked eye will always look worse than they actually are based on advanced metrics and all of that, because you don't know what the call is, and you see a blown coverage, you don't know who blew what and all of that. We may know, hey, that's supposed to be covered too, but we don't know who. I get that, right? They'll always look worse to us than they probably actually are on film to the team. I get that. But what I do know, what my naked eyes tell me, is that even when Marshawn Lattimore has good coverage, he's still getting head tapped routinely. Even when he has good coverage, he's a step away from the football. He's always a step behind the ball, never in front of it. correct me if I'm wrong, he does not have an interception since he's been here. Half the games he's played, he ain't even been active for because he's been hurt. I don't want to keep harping on Marshawn Lattimore because it's bigger than just that, but like they have gone out and acquired the players that they wanted to get to run the defense that they want to run, and it has not worked. Even before people started getting hurt, it wasn't working. Like I don't know, bro. Like I don't know what more can be done. Joe Witt is not going to change the way he calls the defense. So I mean, Bobby cannot. We get like Bobby can't cover in the middle of the field. We get that. Who can? Right now, with the way this defense is structured, there's a huge gap in the intermediate level of the defense. Like they can't. This defense is built around generating pressure and creating turnovers, and they can't do either one right now. Therefore, you go out and routinely get 30, 40 points put up on your head. And you got to depend on Jaden Daniels with a leg and a half and hope he can do something with fourth-string wide receivers. And while we all think Bill has potential and talent, he was a 7th-round draft pick. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
going to be a night full of crash outs, so y'all just bear with us. But
I think, and that's why I mentioned about the Joe Witt changing up some things, bro. I just don't see how that's going to translate in reality. There are other coordinators around this league with significant injuries, and they're actually making it work. So we're not the only injured team with holes that are being successful. I don't know if Coach Witt is. I'm trying not to pile on Coach Witt. I think that's the obvious scapegoat right now, because sometimes your players' talent can overcome coaching in cases. I don't know if we have the talent nor the coaching. And to admit that is very, very depressing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought our roster was better than that. Understand Dietrich Wise. I hate to say, people keep saying to me, like, losing Dietrich Wise should not be the difference between 3-3 and 4-2, or you know what I'm saying, or 3-4 and 6-1. Like he should not have been the determining factor in how good or bad our team is.
That's not Myles Garrett. Like
that's correct. That's poor roster construction. I think DA is probably a bigger loss, right? I think Dorrance Armstrong is a very good player that helped out in many different ways on this team. That's going to be felt. And that's not going to be. There's no replacement for him. But anyway, I just think there's going to have to be some, like, DQ got to come up with some masterful answers. If to your earlier point, Deuce, about you don't want to be sellers, then DQ you up, because DQ is great when the good is going well. We've been winning, we've been having fun, we have these nice little soliloquies. Well, we're not winning right now, DQ. You up. This the hard part. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I understand that a lot of people are calling for, DQ to take the play calling, at this moment, but I just don't see it. Which I'm kind of disappointed, but then I understand, how the end of her work. We have seen it with some of the coaches and stuff here. Like, a lot of these guys, they hire these people who are very close to, they've been on different teams and things like that, forming relationships and stuff. Also trying to get an opportunity, also understanding that, with this is his first go around as a DC, and first year, defense, obviously, they had some things tightened up slightly, but still was a bad defense. Then this year, you get a lot of veterans on that side in the secondary. You have literally almost everybody that from that NFC Championship game last year, and you just add a couple veteran pieces, and you just get worse.
I don't.
Go ahead.
What's up, Cameron? This might be your first time coming, I think, maybe. Appreciate you continuing to do so. Everyone that's here, we appreciate y'all for pulling up for sure. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like and share. Continue to comment with us. Those that are on Twitter and Facebook. If you have YouTube accounts, we ask you to jump over there on your YouTube account and follow us and chop it up with us over there. If you don't, that is fine. What's up? Can we put Jim Schwartz out of Cleveland?
Jim Schwartz may very well be the interim head coach before this season is over with. So I don't know.
I'm going 8 hours and going home. Yeah, he did say that because he said if you're not able to do, wow, this is a crazy pull, Benjamin. He did. He said if you're not able to get done what you need to get done in 8 hours, then you're just not the person for the job. My.
Well,
what a pull. The way we live is not for. What's up, Whittle? Y'all trade Louisville?
Trade him for what?
We ain't trading Louisville, man. I don't know, man. And the thing with that is, the thing with Louisville, and I want to get back to something you said, DT, but since Whittle, the thing with Louisville is it's not so much the scheme has changed they've changed his responsibilities, right? Because he's getting there. He's still getting to the point of attack. He's still in the backfield. He's still out in the open field, but he's missing hella tackles.
Yeah.
He had 21 missed tackles all last year. And I haven't even counted since week 3. After week 3, he was on pace to triple that number after 3 games. And he's missed hella tackles since week 3. So he's probably already blew 21 missed tackles out the window. He's probably at like 30 missed tackles already, and he had only 21 all of last year. I just don't know, because he's getting there. He's still getting in the backfield. He's still filling the holes. He's still out on the perimeter, but he's missing tackles. That's his only thing. That's what we just can't understand what's happening or what has happened. He's missing tackles. And the thing about the defense, the defense was bad last year. Remember, I kept saying, give me 2 stops in the first, 3 in the second. It's the reason why. Because the defense was bad. But no one really cared as much because we were still winning games and the offense was covering them up. But now that's not happening, and everyone's saying, fire with the defense is bad. The defense been bad. But now because of the offense is not scoring points, they injured, blah, 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 they can't cover them up. And now everyone is like, hey, look, we got to do something. We got to make some move. So I kind of thought about this, right? He said everybody missing tackles over there. Widow is a Bills fan. What's up, Smokey? In mini camp and training camp. I don't know which part in mini camp and training camp. But this is what I kind of thought of. Because we know Dan Quinn, he wants to focus more on the team, right? The full aspect of the team of being the head coach, right? What do you all think? He and I put this out there on X earlier. He hired Brian Johnson to be offense. What is he? Offensive pass game coordinator, whatever he is. But he's the assistant head coach also, right? What about give him more day to day, right? Because he is the assistant head coach, and you spend more time over on the defensive side. With that, because you hire people to do certain stuff. So look, for the next five weeks up until our bye week, Brian take care of the day to day. I'm gonna spend more time over there on the defense. We'll start with you, Ceelo.
So I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm fine with that. I think trying anything is better than doing nothing and expecting different results. I think DQ did say in the presser he does not think y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he said in the post game presser that he does not expect to take play calling away from Joe Witt. But it doesn't mean he can't spend a little bit more time with them during the week in terms of game prep and looking at what they're doing in terms of drills, day to day things like that. So yeah, I don't have a problem with something like that. I feel like DQ is the only thing is though is what is that going to buy you? Like I feel like he's already involved in the defense. You look at him on the sideline; he is very quiet on the offensive side. I don't see him doing y'all correct. I don't see him doing weight.
No,
I mean, he's
right.
not as
You've been saying
animated.
that a few weeks. You're right.
Yeah, but on defense, he's doing the race car package thing. He's calling into the headsets. He's pointing out guys. He is very active on defense. Yeah. He's very active on defense.
He mentioned in his press conference, I think after the game, that he can hear every play. He hears every play call. He's aware of everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that's
he's
all three phases.
he hears everything.
I mean, yeah,
all three phases. But I just feel like he's already, because he's a defensive guy, so he's very comfortable and he's obviously leaning to his strengths when it comes to this team and any team. And so I'm not sure what is he not doing already. But I don't know. It's just we just talking, right? We don't know from the outside. But yeah, if he needs to, I don't know, less play personnel stuff, maybe talking with AP, let Brian do some of that stuff, spend another 20-30% of your time with the defense, cool. If that's going to try to get guys motivated and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm with you. Try anything at this point.
Yeah, and DT, we'll go to you next. Like I think it's more so right now. It's probably more so. Oh, okay, all right, yeah, we can try that. Sure. Yeah, okay, all right, good play call. But I we're not doing that. Let's do this, right? Like, let's change this guy out. This is not working. We need to do this. Like that, I need that part. So, like to Ceelo's point, I think he's involved, right? But I need you to start making decisions. As in, no, we're going to do this. Go ahead, DT.
I mean, at that point, you might as well go ahead and. My bad. Go ahead, DT.
Hey, man.
Well, I'm actually glad you brought that topic up because I actually had an experience of that as a fan of Ohio State. Last year when we lost to Oregon, Ryan Day went to Jim Knowles and literally completely changed the defensive scheme. And Ryan Day is known as a offensive mind in college football, but he literally told Jim Knowles, I'm changing the defensive scheme. And once that defensive scheme was changed, that's when our defense completely just turned it on, which led us to the national championship. So it can be done, but the only problem I have is, it's a good suggestion. I just don't see him doing it. But it needs to be done because it's no way that you have these guys who were here last year outside of primarily maybe 3 people, and that includes Savage, who just got here, and Trey Amos, who's a rookie. The communication within the secondary and what Joe Witt is he has a background in, that should be high and tight. But we also understand with the defensive line that we don't have that number one guy up there. We rush as a unit. But something gotta be done, man. Any shape or form, whether it's DQ, tighten up, or going back and looking over some of the things and making it even simpler for the guys so these guys can play fast and stop overthinking. Just something got to be done. And I think we're at this point because every game is a miscommunication. Every game is a blown assignment. It's guys looking across each other saying, hey, what's the call? Bobby Wagner at 35 years old is cussing people out because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Something got to be done. And here it is, probably heading to week 8.
And maybe that's the key, right? Like maybe maybe go to Whit, be like, hey, look, bro, man, secondary coach ain't doing. I need you to go spend a little bit more time with them, get them up to speed, and I'm gonna take over the defense. Like I don't care. Like I don't care what you have to do. Right? You told me anywhere, any place, anytime. So use that same slogan to your coaches. Like I don't need you here right now. I need you over there right now. Cause like you know what I'm saying. Like do the hard stuff with good people. Right, with you're a good person, but right now I can't. You can't do because like one thing about the defense that's very triggering this year from last year is last year we didn't give up a lot of big plays.
Thank you.
We didn't give up a lot of big plays last year. I mean, we hardly gave up any, right? A few here and there, but this year, man, we getting up like 2-3 a game, 2-3 a game, and that's the problem. But you up, Breeze. Brian Johnson, assistant head coach.
Wait, before I'm happy you said what you just said, right? Because I can't really add much more to what DT and Ceelo just said. But where my thought process was taking me is exactly what more along the lines of what you just mentioned, which is Joe Witt Jr. has absolutely got to be better if he wants to keep his job. That's just we all know that. But as someone who coaches, coordinates, plays football, which you know we've all had different experiences in the game of football, I'm taking a very strong look at these position coaches, right? Because a lot of the issues that I'm seeing are things that should circle back to position coaches. Right, you want to talk about the scheme and the game plan? That 100%, in my opinion, falls back on Joe Witt Jr. Right, where players line up and all that. That's Joe Witt Jr. But when you talk about guys not knowing what they're doing, guys technique failing them left and right, all over the place. Not as far like Bobby and coverage. That's just an age thing. That's just not. He don't have that no more. But cornerbacks missing tackles, corners blowing coverages, not knowing what's going on, like. To me, that falls on the people who, if we're talking about coaching, have their hands on the players every single day. I don't remember, like William Gay is one of these secondary coaches. He's with those defensive backs every single day. I know he's an assistant, not the lead D-back coach. If I'm not mistaken. Actually, Joe Witt might be the D-back coach, but the lead D-back coach. Yeah. But like to me, a lot of these issues fall back on the position coaches, and y'all know, S rolls downhill. So if I'm Joe Witt, like DQ, look left at me. I'm looking left at all the rest of them. Like, yo, what y'all doing? Like y'all gonna get me fired, bro. Like y'all gonna get me killed, man. Like what? He trusted me. I'm trusting y'all, and y'all got me looking crazy out here. Like I'm looking at all of these position coaches. It's like, yo, why are the edge rushers not getting home? Although. Like DA, we know was having a great season. Deuce, to your point, Louisville was getting home, just missing tackles. Linebackers, why y'all not doing y'all job? Secondary, Lord knows, ain't nobody really locking down out there. Trey Amos has been the best to this point, but nobody's been outstanding. It's like, yo, what are y'all doing? Because if I'm Joe Witt, right, when DQ look at me like, yo, Joe, what's going on? Before my head roll, I'm gonna take somebody down with me if that's the case. So I got it. Pardon me, I don't remember a lot of the position coaches off the top of my head, but I'm looking at it like, yo, what are these?
That's how we almost at the point where I'm gonna stop calling them out. But go ahead, Bree.
I mean, I'm there. I've been there. Like I know Daryl Tapp. I know William Gay. I know Ken Norton and some. I know some of the names. I just don't know everybody. But yeah, and for me, I'm looking in there somewhere. Kerrigan, RK is in there as well. It's like, bro, I get it. Like, we cool, you my dog, but hey, listen, if I'm gonna get fired, before I get fired, I'm gonna fire one of y'all. Like, something's gotta happen with. I mean, before y'all make me lose my job, y'all gonna lose y'all's first. So, like I said, it rolls downhill. I'm just wondering what's going on with that part of the operation as well.
But Breeze, like, I mean, I guess to the earlier point, like, this is like a circular conversation, but ain't it supposed to get better year two? Like,
you would think.
Like year one and year two, the only new piece in that backfield, if I'm not mistaken, is Amos, right?
And I mean Will Harris, but he's hurt now.
Well, where Will
Yeah.
Harris is hurt, so
But we were told coming into this season, right, that the defense was upgraded, right? They added Dietrich Wise, they added Von Miller, they added Trey Amos. Mikey was supposedly going back to his natural position. Will Harris was supposed to be a wash with Jeremy Chin. We were told Quan Martin taking a step forward at free safety. We were told this was supposed to be an upgrade. And everybody who was here last year has, outside of Dorrance Armstrong, who's now done for the season, has regressed. Deron Payne too. I'm sorry, Deron Payne too. They've all taken a step back as far as the people who were here last season. Like Kinlaw and Amos have added to the defense, but nothing else is working as far as like new pieces. And this was supposed to be an upgraded unit.
I will say, I don't know how y'all felt about how I don't know if I want to get into it now. I don't know how y'all felt about individual players yesterday, but to your point, I feel like I may be in the minority here, but I'm not surprised at Mikey struggling a little bit in the slot. I think his play on the outside was exceptional, but he was also not great outside last year. We don't really see that. We don't talk about that because he had the picks and he was very effective in certain plays, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. I'm not surprised that he's taken some time to learn that slot. That's a very difficult position to learn in the NFL. I mean, and he's having to do that. This is his first year doing that full time. So, but I think it's a compounding situation because now you have your supposedly CB1 struggling, and then you have safety play struggling. Now you look exposed. Now you look really bad. So he can't even take his lumps like a normal, like quote unquote rookie. Now he's having a horrible year because he's having a horrible year. But typically that wouldn't be so bad if you have a better play around you. But he's now looking like horrible because of everyone around him and himself. You see what I'm saying? So I actually I was expecting him to have a struggling second year because that's a hard position to play, but we're not able to give him that grace. Now we're talking about putting him back in the outside, and it's just like that's the worst way to develop a player. And that's just one example, by the way. It's a very bad situation when you think about it from a player development standpoint. When you think about it from a year 2 standpoint, everything put together.
I didn't think he was gonna be this bad. Like, I mean, he hasn't been very good at all this season.
Yeah, I agree.
I expected a slight regression, especially because he didn't really play in the slot that much last season. I mean, once they had to move him outside, he didn't really go back inside very much last season. Yeah. Maybe a little bit in the playoffs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But he held his own on the outside, and I figured there would be a slight adjustment. An adjustment period with him going back inside because he has more space to cover outside. And we've kind of seen that muscle memory fail him several times already this season of him playing in the slot like he had a sideline next to him. And
right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't think it was going to be what we've seen to this point. And I know he has 2 interceptions, 1 interception. He's had,
and that's probably why he's still playing because Igbo had a very good year last year. And a natural thing for you to do would be like, yo, put Igbo back in there. But like Mikey is also very good. He has very good ball skills. So they don't want to lose that either. So they're in a little bit of a quandary there as well.
So this is my thing. This is what I was alluding to earlier when I said the operation worked one way specifically last year, right? Which again, Lattimore wasn't here for half the season. Out of 17 games last year for the Commanders, he played in 4 of them for the regular season, if that, right? So the way the operation worked best last year was in the secondary, Mikey on the outside, Igbo in the slot, and then pick your poison on the other side of the field, whoever you wanted to trot out there, whether it was BSJ, Mike Davis, Emmanuel Forbes, Jesus Christ, that hurts to even say. But whoever was on the other side of the field, whoever was opposite of them on the other side of the field, but it worked though, right? Mikey had a good season. Granted, a large part of that was because of the turnovers he generated. Takeaways, I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point you have to try something. you may not want to bench your, top dollar cornerback. I understand the thought process behind that, but that's at this point to me, that's very much along the same lines of being a 5-star recruit in college. Like once you get on campus, I don't care about that star, bro. You on the roster, and if you are not performing, go sit down somewhere. Like I'll find someone better to do it. And I think we're to that point with Vladimir. Like I said, he's not as bad. He hasn't been as bad as people are crashing out and making him seem to be. I get that. He's not getting his doors blown off routinely. I get that. This season, last year was, whew. but like it's not whatever they're doing is not working. You have Noah Igbenogany, who has played, to my recollection, again, very sparingly on defense.
Yeah.
At this point, move Mikey. Just try it. Move Mikey back outside. Whether you replacing, well, you can't sit Amos. He's been the best corner so far. But move Mikey back outside. Put Igbo in the slot and do what you want to do with Marshall Lattimore. Sit him down. Put him at safety. Tell him, make him inactive. I don't care. But you have to do something and try something, because the way it's being run right now is just not working, bro.
Like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you got it. Like Ceelo was saying, and we talked about this with Dominique Hampton. We talk about this with Owens, and those other guys that's in between those two positions. When these guys coming out and young like that, you really want to zero in on one position, even though if you think they can do both. You want to really zero in on one of those positions the first few years to get them acclimated, right? Like they don't need to be in 2 or 3 different rooms, study rooms and positional groups. Like these are rookies, right? Like these guys don't, you just focus on one thing. And because a lot of the guys that we've seen that's able to switch positions and play 2 different positions, they've been in the league for years before they made the switch. Right. And you're trying to do this with someone just coming in the league. So, and that's the thing with Mikey, like they have to make a decision. If they're going to do that, do it now. If you're going to put Mikey, if Mikey and Amos is going to be your corners of the future, do it now. Right. Bring in Lattimore every now, in different packages and personnel to like cover tight ends or something. Like I think he could cover tight ends very well, probably. At this state of his career, right? Like he should be able to do that, right? And because you can't put him at free safety because he don't have any hips, right? You can't do that, right? I mean, I get you can put him at strong safety maybe on like heavy personnel, things like that. Like I think he's a good tackler. He's not afraid to come in and make some contact. Marshawn.
Yeah, he got ran over yesterday.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but like he was there, and most of the time he does make those tackles though. He's not afraid to get in there.
No, you're right. He's not afraid.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, even the dude fell on him too, right? So like,
he got up and finished the tackle too. By the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, but you have to do something, and it's bad that the bye week is 4 weeks away, right? Because you just can't wait to the bye week. You got to take this long week. You got an extra day. I know they got an extra rest day in there somewhere. You got to get in there and you got to do some stuff, even if it's gradually. You just got to do it, bro. And if you're the type of coach and staff, like you should be able to walk in there and tell these dudes, "Hey, look, man, we're going to try something different. We're going to move you this, and that." If the culture, well, I mean, but I don't know, right? Terry wasn't in camp, so I don't know where the vibes are. I don't know if the coaches can do that because the vibes are so low right now. I don't know if the coaches could go bench somebody. Maybe they got to get Terry to do it. I don't know. Maybe if Terry come back this week, maybe they can do it. Everything hinges on Terry McLaurin, right? So we just got to wait and see. Coaches are too lazy to change up the scheme. What's up, Marvelous? What's up, Raymond? Will Terry even play again this season? We'll find out. I do have a question. I know he's making what, $36 million this year? I think, or 34, 32 is guaranteed, something like that. I wonder how these incentives play as far as being active. Like, I wonder if he has any type of incentives for being active or being, I don't, inactive. Like, I don't know. That I mean, we'll see, right?
I mean, it's my understanding that at least part of his contract was heavily incentive based.
Yeah, but that's really
Yeah.
starting next year though.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
this
I know,
year
bro.
he gets like all of his money.
Let's get his
And
money.
Raymond, this
Yeah.
might be your first time commenting the part 2. I'm not sure, but if it is, appreciate y'all for pulling up. Mikey has some more space to cover, but with no help in coverage, inside lineman to cover. Yeah, that's like I think I appreciate that, Kate. It was good. Like
What's up, Taylor?
I think like we just got like Igbo ain't have a good he ain't have good preseason games, right? Like he was kind of burnt. He got burnt a couple times against some guys that's probably not even on rosters. But again, like he's out there, he probably had a little attitude that why he's out there in the fourth quarter playing with these dudes, right? Like so. But they didn't trade him for a reason, even though those rumors kind of popped up. They understood what it is. It's time to try it out. It's time to go Mikey on the outside. Igbo back in there, mix him at Lattimore every now and then. I mean, move Quan up, the strong, if that's what you got to do. Let Darnell free 100%. I don't want no interchanges. I want Quan going back and forth like this every play. Like wherever the strong side is, Quan, that's where you move. Savage, you stay in the middle of the field, 100%. Quan, you go back and forth, or you know, if they keep or Igbo or whatever, right? Like that's what I want, and I want to see some Quan blitzing. I want to see some Igbo. Like if they want to save this season, bro, they got to make some changes. They have to do stuff that they are not common to doing. That's benching veterans. You got to do it, or you're gonna have 28-3 converted into a season this season if you don't do that. So there you have it. Gotta try something different. Gotta keep Savage out. You got to keep him out there, bro.
I don't know about Quan, y'all. Like Quan, it might be a wrap. I don't know,
I mean,
man.
He's a young, like I just think he's just better around the line of scrimmage. Like slot, like he had to play free safety, right? Like slot corner, that's where he thrived. Remember, he was like the best slot corner coming out that year from Illinois. Right? Like that's where he's supposed to be. But the other regime ain't had nowhere else to put him. The new regime come here and they ain't got nobody else to play out there. But now you do. So
Quan is Jartavius is very quickly trending.
Jartavius, crazy.
He's very quickly trending towards like and I this is whatever, man. It's not meant to be a shot because I got a ton of respect and love for this person, but he's trending toward this like Derek Forrest territory where it's like we know what he can do. A lot of stuff we want him to do, he really can't do, but he just got to be on the field. And Defoe, we know last year he just wasn't on the field much at all. But I mean, Quan is very quickly trending towards that territory where it's like, bro, like you're if there was a better option, you might not be on the field, bro. Like, and I hate to say that because like we've seen Quan play very good football here before. He's just not playing very good football right now in coverage or tackling. He's missing tackles. Bad missed tackles. He's not showing up in coverage. Like I don't know.
I just know you called him Derek Forrest. So that's all I heard.
Jartavian. I heard Jartavian first.
Jartavius, he's
Jartavius.
I think he means if Jaden isn't healthy. I think is what he's saying.
Jeez, Nico, you trying to get rid of all our depth?
I'm about to say, what
like,
no.
We still need we need depth, bro. Like depth. We need depth. Like
no, you got
to.
I'm not.
I don't know
Coleman
what they're
take
gonna
off
do
that
about
list.
Payne. Coleman, he's definitely coming off. Like I don't think they're gonna move Wiley. Ain't nobody gonna want Wiley anyway. Would you gonna get nothing for him? Payne is probably the only piece you'll get something for.
At least 1 week at a time. So I guess we'll talk about it. But if we go 0-3 these next 3, I'm absolutely selling. Everybody who's available. That's not on the one less than the last year they did.
What week is that? Is that 8?
That would be 6, 7, 8. We're going to that would be 8, 9, 10. That'd be 10.
November 4th. Yeah, because I said after week 10 is where is kind of where I always was with the whole NFL because there's so much parity. It's like week 10, you should really see all the separations.
When is the trade deadline? Is what week 10 is week 10 now, right? They moved it back.
November 4th. Whatever is November 4th, 4 o'clock. So whatever.
Oh well,
that
we're
week that
gonna
is.
be a little. That'll be a week too late, I guess.
That's week 9. That's week 9, right?
Yeah, it'll be a week too late. I just think these next 2-3 games is everything. I don't know. I don't know if this team has a.
Nico say get him gone.
Y'all think we sell this man?
I don't
Y'all
think so.
Crazy, bro.
I mean, we don't have a whole lot to sell.
6-game streak.
Well,
here's the thing. So
you
here's
got
my
Payne,
question.
you got Payne, Wiley, Igbo.
Wiley being much of a sell, to be honest with you.
Some people they desperate for offensive line help. You never know. Maybe a 6-7. And then you might. Who else? I think that's the big ones. I think that's the big ones.
So here's my question, right? If you are sellers at the deadline, right, with the understanding that most of even the top players, that Payne might be, if you were to move from Payne, might be your highest net. Everybody else, you're talking about 6th, 7th round picks, maybe a 5th round pick if somebody's being generous. How quickly do you then rebuild with 3 more years of Jayden on a rookie contract to get? Because if you sell this is a very heavy, veteran team. If you sell Deron Payne, Wiley, and some of these other people, how quickly can you then rebuild the roster to be competitive again with a boatload of 5th and 6th round picks?
So
we don't have anybody you can flip for a 2nd round pick.
It's probably too premature to have that conversation, but I think like Adam has to make a decision, bro. We're kind of in limbo right now. We tried to strike while the iron's hot. We traded, made some. We made decisions and moves that were very much win now mode, in my opinion. So if you pivot 6 months later and say, you know what, I want to sell, then you kind of gave up a little bit on your quick strike while the iron's hot, kind of mentality. And so you kind of you're going back and forth. You opened up as a GM of this team as I build through the draft kind of guy. You pivoted to, well, actually, you know what? We winning now. My quarterback's really good. Let me go and get Marshawn. Let me go trade for Debo. Let me go trade for tons of. Oh, by the way, you know what? We having a bad day. Let me go back and you know what I'm saying. So you got to make a decision on what are you trying to do, and the timing and such and so on. So I get what you're saying, Breeze. I just think that. We got to decide, man. Do you want to build? Do you want to go all in on the draft or not?
I mean, I feel like, and this is me, right? I feel like if you're AP, I feel like you stand pat this year for whatever that's worth, right? You get what you can get out of this season, and going into the off season, you have to. It's not even a once. You have to get younger across the board. There needs to be a youth movement, whether via free agency, draft. We don't have much to trade to get younger pieces via trade, but you have to go get younger and better. You cannot rely on 30, 31, 32-year-old football players at key positions and then expect their 6th round backups to be key players if and when they get hurt.
Wait a minute. See, this is why we got to get rid of radio going back, because this makes absolutely no sense. Right? Y'all need to stop listening to that radio. Tell me how is Thomas Davis the same as Bobby Wagner?
Thomas Davis
literally came here to be a player coach. He got like 10 snaps.
Yeah, he was active for 1 game.
I don't even remember Thomas Davis.
That makes absolutely no sense, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bree.
No. I mean that was the end of my point. I'm just saying if it's me making decisions, I think you have that was crazy. You have to stand pat this season, and you made your bed and lay in it, right? You have to stand pat this season and just hopefully you get a couple bodies back as the season goes on. Maybe a few people, teams let players go. You could bring them in. I'm sure Alex Burks will be. Treylon Burke will be active this coming Sunday. It's Monday. And maybe you get lucky and you strike, but going into I don't think you can sell and then rebuild the team fast enough to still be an attractive destination. I think you have to stand pat this season, let the chips fall how they fall. If you want to blame injury, then be my guest, blame injury. We all know better, but whatever. But going into this offseason, you have to go get younger. You have to scout your ass
Let
off.
me-
Sorry, Deuce, and get younger and get better in the draft and
The-
free agency and across the board.
Let me ask you
The
this.
only
Let me ask you this, right? Like our special teams unit is elite, right? Like even without Belore, and Belore's like 57, right? Even without him,
He was on a
our
team.
special teams is like elite. Like we're like set with young guys. I mean, young guys that's under contract. When we talk about getting younger, I think sometimes it seems like we're like old everywhere, and that's really not the case, right?
No.
Like you, Wagner, Ertz, Belore, Wagner, Ertz, Belore.
What's the age point that you referring to?
Right, I'm just saying, like we talk about 30, right? Like that
Okay.
seems to be the Terry number,
So-
right? Remember, everything's
Debo-
revolved around Terry, right? So it's Terry, right? 30.
So
Right. So
Debo,
even
Terry,
and
Eckler.
not just and not just the
Peter
age, but
Wise.
the position to
Yeah.
the age. Right?
Mhm.
Because some positions you can be in your prime way past 30, like left tackle. Right. I think we all can agree that Tunsil is one of those left tackles that can play well into his 30s and be in his prime. Right. So
Yeah.
when you think about him, he really doesn't fit this bill. Right?
Agreed.
Von Miller, right? This is probably going to be his last year, right? So those are 4 players right there that's over 33, 34. You move those players off and you get younger in those positions, or you already have people in place, then all of a sudden you go from the oldest team to probably the 23rd oldest team just off of those 4 moves. Right there. And all of those guys are on age, probably not even here. So you don't really have to be stellars in a sense to get younger. Like that's not what this is. We don't have a team full of a whole rock of old dudes.
Right. That's why I say stand pat with this season and live with what you got. And like I said, hopefully you get a few bodies back and things improve. And then going into next year, that's when you have to go upgrade though. Because like we don't know what Jordan McGee is, but I don't know if Jordan McGee is just every down middle linebacker. Like we don't know what most of us assume that John Bates and Ben Sinnott are not your number 1 tight end moving forward. Like Austin Eckler is 30 and hurt. Now we have JCM. Yeah. Now we have JCM. We think we got some with JCM. McNichols looks good, but like do you continue to add and upgrade at running back? Debo is what 31, 30. Terry is 30. I mean, we all know you have to go get another receiver that is hopefully under the age of 24. You know what I mean? That can start hopefully via the draft. But like there are specific areas you can upgrade, but you're not going to upgrade any of them this season. And selling does nothing. To me, it doesn't help at all. It may make you lose a few more games when you get a higher draft pick, but it doesn't. I mean, it does. To me, it doesn't. It's not a net gain to me.
So I think the reason, maybe youth movement is the wrong word to Deuce's point. Maybe you just need to be very surgical and who you replace.
Surgical with this joint, Jake. My bad.
But like, I think the reason people tend to talk about trading at the deadline is because that's when people overpay. Think about it. We got a second for Montez Sweat. We got, we got people pay an absorbent amount of. No. I get that, but so I don't know how old is Payne, 28, 27, and I would consider Payne better.
I think he's the only one. Like I think.
Yeah. I don't think they have a lot of opportunity for that. But that's just an example. Like you will only do that, in my opinion, if you're going to get very, very top end draft capital, which is obviously going to parlay into the upcoming draft, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not saying that we should do that, but I understand people who would like to at least consider it, because if you are mathematically or leaning towards not being in the playoffs, then what are you doing? Guys will leave for nothing. That's the fact. They will. The contracts will expire, or you don't want to pay that big cap hit that Payne is going to cause. You're going to walk out the door for nothing. Kind of what we did with Jonathan Allen. Unfortunate because he was hurt, couldn't do nothing about it. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's what people are trying to avoid, if at all possible. Our issue is we ain't got that many players to really trade anyway. It's just one guy and
all I can think of was one person.
a couple of throw-ins. So
and mind you, this goes back to, right? This and that's a good point, Commander Lloyd. Speed guys can't be, 30 and 0. We want to start getting younger. But like this is hold on a second. This is yeah, of course we're gonna want Lockett. He probably be here by Friday. My bad. I didn't mean to go off. But this is the thing about where AP is not getting grace. And this is what's kind of frustrating when you hear it because people just don't understand it. Right? You want to be the Eagles in year 2, and it just doesn't work. The Eagles wasn't the Eagles in year 2. Right? Like the Eagle fan base was wanted to get rid of him after the first couple of years for the moves that he was making. And we're only in year 2. Right? Like it's going to take time to get there. Right? But microwave society, right? You got these 17-year-olds that just don't understand the concept, right? They think the Eagles is just the Eagles, right? And I'm just using them because that's everybody want to use them, right? But y'all know my whole thing about winning covers, losing on cover. That's a whole different thing, right? So, Ceelo, like you kept making a point. Why don't we have nobody to trade? Because the roster was trash.
Yeah.
We have 2 first-round players from the last 5, 7, 6 years on our team. He's gutted the whole roster. He's gutted the whole roster, and he was able to get to the NFC Championship game. He gutted the whole roster. Why do you think we have a lot of these older guys? Because we didn't have no younger guys to play the position.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you if you want to get all these young, it's going to cost crazy money to fill a roster with a whole bunch of young guys in a sense, like in free agency. And if you think about it, free agency is not a bunch of young dudes. It's dudes trying to get their second contracts, maybe the third. They put some in that 24, 25 year range. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be signing young guys in free agency because most of the time the young guys is not good enough to play in the NFL. That's why they didn't get a second contract with the current team.
Yeah.
Like, but that's the frustrating part. And what, you can't just put that in the, because people are just not going to understand it, bro.
I think what makes it complicated about the microwave society was exactly is that we microwaved our behinds to an NFC Championship game, and that completely threw everyone's like timeline off. Right. Now we in panic mode, right? And then now we gotta take it. Like Bree said it, we gotta take advantage of Jay's contract. Blah blah blah. Like that's unfortunately the good and the bad of going to the NFC Championship game in year 1 of a quote unquote retool.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. I completely understand and even sign off on the roster being built the way it was built last year. I understood that because you had to turn over. You had to get roster. I mean, the team that was inherited flat out was not good. There's a reason they had the number 2 overall pick in the draft. They weren't good. And you had to find a way to turn that roster over as quickly as you could. My issue comes when you double down on the way that roster was built with the understanding that it still was not very good. Jaden was just that damn good. The roster was not very good. You double down on it, and then the injury bug hits. So you doubling down on that type of construction. Now you have very little to play with because everybody's hurt. Yeah. So and then like to Ceelo's point about maybe wanting to be sellers at the deadline, there like as Deuce said, there's nobody to sell. Even Deron Payne, who's probably the only legitimate piece you could sell, he's on a contract year. So most teams, even contended teams, won't trade for him without some kind of guarantee he's going to re-sign with them. Same as with Montez Sweat to Chicago. Because unless you are a team that's like has legitimate straight up, we are going to be a playoff team. We're just trying to go from being a wild card team to a NFC championship team or AFC championship team. You're not trading for a 9-10 game rental of Deron Payne. You're going to trade. If you trade for that player, you want some kind of assurance that he's going to be there for the next 3, 4, 5 seasons. I don't even remember how old Deron Payne is right now, but that's what's going to hurt trying to trade Deron Payne is that more than likely whoever trades for him is going to probably want some kind of assurance he's going to be there for the foreseeable future, not just for the next 10 games. Outside of that, I don't know who else to move on from.
I agree with everything y'all saying. And, you know, even with trying to move a Deron Payne, the probably only benefit you would try to see is what do you have in Johnny Newton? Because for those who came in late, like he was being outsnapped by Sheldon Day and Coleman, and that's not good for a guy we drafted in the second round. And you know, particularly he has flash, but it's still a consistency thing with him. And also a lot of the guys right now, they're not sellable. I mean, you have Coleman, young but been injured, and he's been going back and forth between playing tackle and guard, and we don't know where he is as a guard right now because he lost that spot to Chris Paul, who's probably going to be looking like he might get a contract here next year or some shape or form the way he's playing at a high level. I still think with this team, you have to build it within the draft, but also to Deuce's point, build within free agency as well. Getting some of these guys that's coming off these rookie deals or these second contracts and maybe even third contracts to establish more around the team and stuff. I just think the overall thing is last year when I did podcasts and stuff, or actually not last year, this season coming in, it was all about the trenches. And I feel like the one good benefit with this team right now is I feel like the offensive line is absolutely set up for the future for Jaden. Now it's just about getting playmakers, and that can be on the defensive side, edge rusher, getting a young linebacker, getting a corner that can play alongside of Amos and try to get Sanders confident back and a safety. And, you know, another wide receiver as well and a tight end.
But to that point, right, real quick, Deuce. To everybody, like, again, we all understand that at some point they have to get younger, right? I think it has to be to the draft because more times than not, there are outliers every year. I understand that. But more times than not, teams do not let their young premium talent hit free agency.
Yep.
Like, we understand that we need to upgrade at receiver. Do you know what free agency looks like at wide receiver? More times than not, you have one or two top flight players who ultimately usually go back to their original teams. And then you have De'Ami Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, and players of that's the way that you usually end up picking from because those top flight players usually end up back at their old teams. So like we've given up some draft compensation, but like I don't know how much. It doesn't have to be premium talent, but I don't know how much talent there'll be to pick from via free agency. And most people, again, I've said this on social media, haven't said it on camera yet, but I feel like video games or fantasy sports have ruined people's perception of how this really works. Because people feel like just because I offer you a contract, you should take it. You got to take it. That's not how that works in real life. So yeah, we may see a guy become a free agent. We would name that player that commands a boatload of money and scores a boatload of touchdowns. We may want that player. The team may want that player. He may not want to come here. Just because we want him don't mean he's going to come here. Y'all gotta get rid of that thought process.
We know we got two bona fide examples of that happened this last offseason, right? DJ Reed took the money. He straight up said it. Took the money in Detroit, and homeboy in Seattle that left Dallas.
Lawrence.
Those are the two players we tried to get, and they said, "You know what? I'm going to take the money." Don't blame them, by the way. Don't blame them. That's business. So to Breeze's point, you're absolutely right, bro. It's a two-way street. They got to want to be here. They got to want to accept the contract, and they want to have to be, come on our terms. And it just wasn't happening. That's the bottom line. That's the reality. That's not Madden. That's just facts.
Not at all. Trail, appreciate you, bro, joining the community. I think I got some music. I still ain't even. Let me see. I don't know if he want this man's trade.
We about to be in after dark space.
There you go. Thank you, Trail.
Hey.
Put some news on
Wait,
this.
December.
Appreciate you, Trail. Just FYI, will be doing like the webinars. I know I posted a couple last week, but the All 22 is going to be webinar based that we're going to be running. So check out the community, check out the different perks. Cause one of those is in one of those perks. Let's get through some of these comments. Radio is only entertainment. However, it was a caller that mentioned that it wasn't much about the player. It was more about the relationship. Defensive end can't be 30. Yeah, they can. Defensive ends can be 30.
I think they
it depends
can.
what you want. Yeah, they definitely can. How old is Miles Garrett and them? Them dudes ain't 25.
I mean,
I think Miles Garrett's 28, but
that
obviously
contract,
Trey
when he
Anderson is
turned
like
30,
31.
He'd probably be around 40 million when he turned 30.
I mean, we've seen a lot of defensive ends be elite into their early 30s, even mid 30s in some cases. Not necessarily here, but in general.
Yeah. Let me see something. Also, just drop the YouTube link for those of you on X or Facebook. If you don't have the link, if you have a Facebook account, please subscribe. If not, just stay right where you are.
YouTube account.
Yeah, on YouTube. You get a player to trade that line. You dumb players. I don't think the Patriots wasn't the 2012 Pats in 2010. Right. We got speed at line, but Witt doesn't play them because he's. But I mean, like the speed is one thing. Like we saw, if you saw the cut up that we did with the 12 reps that McGee got, like yeah, you saw the speed for sure, but you ain't see no control. Right? Like he running past the ball carrier in some of those instances, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about speed.
Daryl Tapp is the linebacker coach.
I think he's a DA
no,
coach.
he's the D line coach.
D line coach. Okay.
D line, yeah.
Okay.
Ken Norton is the linebackers coach.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
For a fifth or a sixth and get the money out. Yeah, that ain't even.
Anyhow, we could sell Payne, Terry, Abraham, and Coleman for picks, but we still need a team, y'all. Like we can't just be getting rid of depth. Like this is depth too.
So they're not selling Terry. That'd be dumb. And then Coleman is literally in year 2. That makes no sense. That's
and Igbo, like he's a good depth piece. That's why they ain't trade him already. They could have been traded him. Now they want to keep him around. No, we're not doing it before. Stop it. Yeah, and it's not so much about if you can get picks for him, yeah. But
yeah, that's not
like,
really.
It has to make sense. Like B. Robinson wasn't in the plans moving forward on the contract year.
Right.
But I don't think he tried to skip the process too much. I think he actually did what he always said he was going to do. Like I don't think if we wasn't winning, I don't think he makes the move for Marshawn for sure, right? But in the offseason, I think he makes the move for Tunsil, maybe, right? Like I mean, but again, I don't know. I don't really see a problem with the moves that he's made. Now, of course, hindsight, you'll have a problem with it for most cases because the ones that don't pan out, right? But at the time of making it, we understood. Even with Marshawn, we understood why he made that move, right? Because in order for us to be sure to make a deep playoff run, we need a help at cornerback, right? And like he tried to get DJ Reed, but the Jets said no, right? He wanted DJ Reed first, right? So like the moves that he made should be understood of why he made those moves.
Hindsight is 2020 though. Let's not forget not everybody, but a lot of people were ecstatic when we traded for Marshawn Lattimore last year. Now, again, it didn't work out, but a lot of people were lit when we made that trade. We thought we had fleeced the Saints. Come to find out, it might be the other way around. But
Yeah, no, might. I think we.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
But yeah, I mean, even this point with that's the thing, and like we used to talk about that. It's like Jaden cannot. I mean, I know y'all tired of him with the whole elevator and the floor and the ceilings and all that, but bro, he can't raise ceilings. He can only raise floors, and he can't raise them but so high, and everybody is on a different floor. Like right now in the wide receiver room, all of those dudes in the wide receivers that played this week, you can jump out the window from the floors that they on, and nothing will happen to you.
You said they on the first floor. That's crazy.
Like right, like that's how low they are.
Maybe second.
Right, like that's how low they are, and we can't expect Jaden to do that. And as far as other players, yes, other players do want to come play. They would love to come play for him, right? But at the same time, those players are players that already had their second contract or already have bowl wins. And those guys going to be looking for money. This is still the NFL. You're only going to be Jaden for 3-4 years in that sense. You want to look out for your family, blah, blah, blah. So, like, if it comes down to money, just like DJ Reed, man, bro, I took the money. It ain't that he got an issue with Jaden. I'm sure he wanted to play with Jaden, rather, right? But look, the money is where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, and that's not a bad situation in Detroit.
No, it's not. It's not
at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think Debo, he's a hit. Of course, he's hurt, and I think that's more so because, like, it's like I mean, we were saying that. Like, I know, I was saying, like, bro, he got to slow down, right? Like, he has a heavy load. I mean, even through camp, he ain't taking no vet days really, and in the season, like. I'm glad they shut him down last week. I'm glad they shut him down. But Debo and Tunsil, I think, was good moves to make. I mean, all people want to say we gave up 3 picks but like we got picks back too. One here and one there, you know what I mean? So no, you're not making the playoffs at 9-7 in the NFC. That's not happening.
Nope.
You better get 11. And we barely made it last year. How many wins did we have?
12.
And we barely made it. So,
and a wild card.
Yep. So no, that's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. What else we got, man?
That's probably enough. Oof. Monday Night Football. Y'all ready?
Man, I just seen the commercial, bro. Nasty, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro. They didn't even show Jaden. Got Marcus Mariota in that joint. Yeah.
Oh, stop playing.
I'm dead serious, bro.
Oh.
Not a single video of Jaden. It was Marcus Mariota.
Jaden didn't finish the game, and to this point, his injury designation hasn't been put out. So I get it. That's actually smart marketing, I guess.
Nah, bro. Like you still gotta sell Jaden for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that junk nasty,
they
bro.
Wildin'.
The boys had Deron Payne, Bill Crosby, Merritt, and I think they had Mikey. That junk was nasty, bro.
What? Yeah.
We
got that many people hurt. They don't have nobody to pick from the. Jeez.
Well, I think that's it, folks.
Yeah.
I don't think we're out, right? We got 4 losses, 3 wins. You still got a shot.
Yeah, I think I think the division or the conference losses is really that's just disappointing, man. It's disappointing.
Yeah, we got 4.
It's going to hurt, but it's still plenty of time to turn it around. Like we,
go 1-0. Let's go 1-0.
You got to take it
1-0.
Yep. Go 1-0.
We're gonna have to beat a couple of teams that people don't think we can beat, which we all know that's the theme around here. But I mean, it's possible. Monday gonna be, I might need a padded rum to watch Monday in, but
we ain't talking about it too much. I thought Cosme was fine, but Connolly had a tough game. I don't know if that was because of Cosme or what, but he had a tough game.
Cosme did have that
I
false
gotta
start on
go back
fourth
and look
down,
because
but
that one play with Wishakom got the sack or whatever. There was a pull. There was a pull to that side, and they didn't block anybody. And Connolly stepped down, and then when he saw that, he tried to get back. I don't know if that was on Connolly or not. So I gotta go back and watch that one. I haven't watched it yet, but all in all, I think they're gonna be good, man. Like he going through some bumps. He got Cosme over there. I think, like DT said, the O-line, I think we're good, bro. You know, I think they're gonna re-sign Paul. Everybody else is under contract, but I mean, I think they probably gonna extend Tunsil for sure. Because if not, we're going into the all. I guess he's gonna be the one that people blame on not attending training camp or whatever. So we'll have all those guys locked up for the next 2-3 years. So that'll be good for Jaden, right? Get some more weapons in here, man.
Playmakers.
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 There it is. All right, DT, what you got?
Tune in for this week. I will be going on Thursday. We're going to have a collab episode with Kansas City. It's Jody Newsome. We're going to be going live with her to talk about the Monday Night Football game.
Breeze.
I ain't got nothing lined up right now, man. I'm still dealing with this loss. I ain't gotta play. I ain't gotta get over it in one day. I'm still mad. So, you know, yeah.
Ceelo.
We'll be back.
Hey man, we got a lot going on, but right now, let's get this dub. We're just gonna focus on watching all 22 and recover.
Lord have mercy.
Man, I see y'all tomorrow in the lab at some point. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Locke will be here by Friday. Yeah, we need to get healthy. Like if bro, I better not see an L at all. He better be full go on Wednesday.
I don't think they get a wide receiver.
Cause he come out this joke DMP, like it's gonna get nasty, bro. Like it's gonna get nasty. Debo, we gotta get healthy, man. I guess we see Burks next week. We're probably gonna see Tyler Lockett because he asked for a release, right? They granted it. Like, I mean, what's the issue? Like, let me look. He wasn't getting no burn or something.
Nah,
he probably wanted an opportunity to win, and Tennessee is dirt trash right now.
The younger guys were playing more than he was.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's not playing much.
He wasn't
By
playing
the
much
way,
because he's not good, or they just on the youth movement.
I think it's more the latter.
Bro, we need an edge. Talking about another wide receiver, bro.
I'm with you, bro.
I cannot live with Preston Smith trying to get to the quarterback, bro. That joint had me so mad Sunday. This man had an easy way to get to the quarterback, and he did an unnecessary spin move to go back outside. What is wrong with you, bro? Oh my God. Yo, dudes, when you see the all 22, look at that play, bro. Put in Preston Smith all snaps, and you'll see what I'm talking about, bro.
Preston Smith all snaps is so nasty. Hey, Jacob Martin probably had the best game of his career, bro. Probably not career, that's probably too much. But he had a very good game.
He was out there.
He had a very good game. He was balling. I ain't gonna lie. And he was feeling himself too. He was out there talking all kinds of junk. Yeah.
Like, okay, and he's a vibe. Where everybody else at?
Yeah, the vibes weren't vibing.
Yeah, like he was out there drinking vibes.
That's how y'all sound. Vibes, man. Vibes, bro. The vibes made us miss kicks. The vibes made us not get Terry something on time.
Hard stuff. Good people.
Yeah. What's up, Mitch? All right, man. We appreciate y'all, man. We know your time is valuable for you to spend it with us. We absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart.